Smart. Pete's Car Smart. Pete's Car Smart. Where even the littlest tech tips make a big, big, big difference.
We got us a product, and I've been investigating the situation, and I went out and bought this product. I want to show it to you. I'm going to go over it with you. I've never used it, and I've read up on it, and it's supposed to be like one of the hottest items on the market. Let me get it, let's look at it, and see what the fuck's going on.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Alright, what I'm talking about welding. I'm talking about Mr. Home Guy, Mr. Hobby Dude just like you that wants to do some welding but can't afford a giant MIG welder such as this one right here. Let me get this out of the way. This thing's big and bulky. We're not using that today. We're not using the big bulky welder because we got ourselves a new welder. This is an 80 amp inverted arc welder. And that's an exciting situation because arc welding has really came a long way since way back in the day. Now this is an inverted arc welder, which means that this welder right here is 10 times better than your standard arc welder. So let's open it up and let's see what we got here. As I'm undoing all this, I want you to take a look to see how big this thing actually is. This little item right here cost $135 bucks. It was $135 over at Harbor Freight. They actually have another welder that's a 70 amp welder that cost $79. But if you look at this welder right here, you're going to see that this has some special features on it that the 70 amp doesn't. And another thing is this is actually 10 amps hotter. Now if you notice, we're welding way over here and I don't see a plug outlet. And the cord on this is only so long. I would not suggest to use an extension cord unless you use a 10 gauge or thicker. I just happen to have one over there. Let's get it and look at it. And if you look right there, you can see that I made my own cord. This is a 10 gauge 3-wire extension cord that I made. It's 12 feet long. Really don't want to go any longer than that. And what that's going to do, that's going to let us extend our cord out so we don't draw too much current and throw the breakers on our welder. And it's also going to give us more versatile action as far as carrying it longer away from the outlet. Alright, right after you plug the welder in, what you're going to notice, you're going to see two little lights right here. And if you notice on the gauge here, it says 0 amps. So once you go past the 0, you're going to see that the little light's coming on. Now this does have an intercooler fan that keeps our transformer cool. So it is running right now, so that's telling me that the fan will always be running. But this is our variable speed, and what we're going to do, I've always found out on brand new items, is when you start using a brand new item like this that has variable amperage or variable speed, this, that, and the other, you always want to start out right in the middle. So we'll leave that right there. One more thing we want to look at, right below the on where the green light is, there's also a little red light here, and it has a stop. Now what that red light does is if this thing overpowers itself, the little red light will come on and it'll kick it off to let it cool itself down, and then it'll come back on. But it'll let you know when that little red light comes on, it'll let you know what the situation is. So that's a good feature on this little welder as well. But the situation is we're showing you this little welder because you can't afford the big welder. You can't buy the $2,500 fucking MIG welder and you don't have a 220 outlet. And you're not even going to do that type of welding. You're not going to do that mass production. What you're going to do though, you're going to do some hobby welding at home. You're going to do maybe make a table like my friend Pete's doing. Or you might be making a metal sculpture of that maybe. I don't know, but something like that. You might be welding, you know, a crack in your frame on your automobile, or you might have a header, a cast iron header that has a crack in it, and you want to weld it. That's where this welder comes in handy. All right. What we're going to do though is my friend Pete is going to try this out. We're going to actually see how good it really is, and I'm going to weld a couple little slaps over here. I'm going to slap it down and weld it together, and we're going to test it out, and my friend Pete's going to give you the lowdown on the little inverted 80 amp welder that you can purchase over there at what is that, Harbor Freight, and we're going to let you know what we think about this for you, the fucking guy out there that wants to fucking do it right. Now, one more thing about arc welding before we get started. You always want to make sure that you're using gloves, protective equipment, such as a good welding helmet. You want to make sure that you got that, and you want to make sure that you're protected, and try to do this in a ventilated area due to the smoke and the fumes that come off of our rod. Let's go ahead and start striking and see if we can get it welding. All right, now that the weld is cooled down, let's go ahead and I see that it really made a lot of slag here. And the weld didn't hold. The weld didn't hold, so I don't know. Wow. Let me go ahead and turn it up to 80 amps, and then I'm going to try that one more time. Alright, we went ahead and welded that on there, and we welded it a little bit stronger. Let's take our hammer now. Go ahead and clean our slag off, and then we'll go ahead and it looks like it held pretty good this time. I don't see it moving around, but I did have to turn it up. So what's the final word to the 80 amp inverted welder? What's my friend Pete's would you say final word? What would it be if I was going to tell you to go out and buy one? I would say for a hobby guy that has minimal welding to do around the house, maybe he might be doing an art project. Okay, this is a very, very good welder to have. But if you were going to buy this welder to, let's say, weld a Mustang 2 front suspension into a vehicle, an old classic car, no, this welder would not be good to have. This would be good like if your exhaust manifold, for instance, your factory original exhaust manifold had a crack in it, you can go ahead and weld that up with some nickel rod. Or if you might be doing something like my friend Pete's doing here, it would be good for that. I see that it's going to take a little bit of practice. I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on, and we're going to go ahead and get a couple more welds going here. And hopefully my friend Pete will learn how to use this and master it. But you know, you never will master anything unless you practice, 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 and that's what my friend Pete's doing. It's very important that if you want to do something in life, get out there, buy the fucking machine, and do it, okay? I believe this is a good machine. You know, is it made in America? Probably fucking not. It's probably made in China. But it seems to be a nice little welder. I'm not really familiar with arc welders, like I said, but from the way that the electrode arced off and it didn't stick and it started right away, it was a very, very quick start, and I got my puddle going very, very good. I think that it's going to work out all right. I believe that the steel that I'm welding here is a little bit thick, but once again, I'm doing it just like you would if you went out and bought it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best fucking machine. I'm not going to sit here and say, buy this motherfucker now. I'm trying it out, letting you know what I think about it. Let me get this welded on here. I got it lined up. I got my 8 inches from, well, hold on, we gotta go a little, right there, okay. And I gotta do some arc welding practice. We'll see you later, take it easy. And hopefully I'm using the right rod. I mean 60-13.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.